Falcon Esports, again, being the dark horses back in MSC 2022, they won a lot of hearts there. They competed in multiple tournaments, even in online events. They won more hearts, and through M4 up to this point, they're still doing that, right? And it is a match, I guess, that you would just want to see two teams going head-to-head here, very similar play styles. And as we get this second phase of the draft, you can see, focusing on Kairi's options here. The Hayabusa is actually going to be taken out this time for Falcon Esports. They might even focus on one more assassin, possibly, because right now, even Ling's available, right? And it could end up being an assassin versus an assassin in the jungle fight.
Honestly, that would be great for entertainment value, but what I would be worried more for Falcon is if Onic Esports picked up someone like the Cho to go in the jungle. I think that would work really well against the Fanny in the jungle, but you're right, the Ling is going to be the choice of ban. We want to take it away from the Sky King himself because everyone knows that his best and iconic heroes are airborne, like Ling, like Fanny, but both of those have been taken away. The one thing that I wanted to talk about was the fact that they took the carry, because when I see Onic go against something like the Fanny, usually they put something crazy in the gold lane. We've seen a Moskov work well in the gold lane. Against an Atlas, we've seen CW pick up the Mia to prevent that CC from coming through. So I'm not too sure about this carry pick, but we're going to see how they're going to round things up here in the second phase.
I mean, Kairi's definitely mean, right? Kairi definitely packs a punch, definitely a hot topic. Marksman, wait a second, they're going to pick up the Kadita. I mean, I know the Kadita's been doing great, but it just seems like it's going to be a bit harder to lock on to Justin. Once again, it seems like Kaja is the only real answer to deal with that Fanny so far. They could still pick up the Cho jungle, could be very viable, but I definitely feel like they need something else to answer that, because as long as they can play it well, as long as this Fanny can dance around clean enough, Kaja's not going to be enough.
Well, I mean, basically what you're going to see is both teams here interacting between the Flicker ultimates, right? I'm talking about flickering in with the Fatal Links and also flickering in with the Divine Judgment. Now, the thing for Atlas is you can get multiple targets here, but look at that. Oh. It's going to be, for the first time, Kagura coming out here. So that's actually going to be putting Harith in that gold lane, or I guess it could even be a Kagura, but most likely going to the mid lane with that Kagura, and then the XP lane is going Uranus.
You're right. Definitely, because when I look at Onic Esports, their composition, they want to work on pickoffs, whereas Falcon, they want to go more for those team fights. So what Onic is trying to say is, okay, we're never going to clump up as 5. We don't want to give you the possibility of getting that Fatal Links combo in with the Yin Yang overturn from the Kagura, and therefore you see these picks coming through, like the Glue, the Kaja, the Kadita. The question is now, is Kaja a jungler or not? Are they going to put the Kaja once again in the roamer position for Kiboy, or is it going to be a jungle? But okay, the Martis is going to be picked up, so Kairi Martis.
I was going
right?
to say, he still has wings if it was the jungle Kaja, right? But no, it's not. It's actually going to be Kairi on the Martis here. We've seen this hero put in the jungle many times. And even, I think when the signature hero popped up, that was for Ken, right? I mean, it was Ken that was playing that Martis here.
100% win rate.
100% win rate. So what you're thinking is, okay, signature hero also for Kairi as a Fanny. It's like they both just decided, you know what? Play your signature hero, I'll play him better. And that's what we have going into game number 2 here. Trex, how are we feeling about the draft?
I mean, it's definitely interesting. I think the Martis was the answer I was kind of looking for, wondering what else are they going to use to lock down this Fanny, and that is definitely going to help. Once again, you know, you talked about Onic getting spicy in the gold lane. This time, Falcon bringing in this Harith gold lane. Falcon definitely trying to break some bounds here against such a strong team. They're doing a wonderful job.
Well, we're breaking the bounds here as we load it into the Land of Dawn for game number 2. It's Falcon Esports against Onic Esports. Can Onic Esports take another game in this series, the best of 5?
That's the question here. I mean, if we go straight looking at the spells, the emblems, one thing that we do notice up front is that even though Naomi brought the Atlas, we all know how Fatal Links is going to be able to get popped up in level 4. But none of the members from Onic Esports actually brought the Purify except for CW. So that's something that Falcon can work with when it comes down to it. And the one thing else that I wanted to add is the fact that Kairi is on the Martis, he's going to be immune to the CC. So I think that was the perfect addition in regards to that.
Well, already the back and forth here just for the Lift Wanderer, but shouldn't convert into anything. I mean, both teams have quite a bit of this early poke, but Kairi already trying to assert dominance in the jungle here.
That's what he's got to do, right? This is exactly the plan for Onic. Once again, be aggressive into Falcon, especially when you're up against a Fanny. Wait a second, Naomi going to try to get the stun on Kairi. Does work, but a big knockup coming from Sanz there. Ken forced to back off along with Naomi. Falcon slowly getting pushed into a corner, only a minute and a half.
I mean, both teams, they're reliant on level 4, right? They're both teams are reliant on that level 4. They need those ultimates. They need that power spike to happen. So what we're going to expect is the importance of base damage. And Kiboy has that. Kaja hurt so much already below even level 4. And you can see even Ken starting to fall short in terms of that jungle.
I mean, the thing, too, with Onic Esports is CW is the only one with that get-out-of-jail-free card, right, against the Atlas, because Naomi's going to be looking for those fatal links here, and already CW is going to have his work, the work cut out for him, because he's got to avoid that. Meanwhile, avoiding Justin and Ken, all the burst damage potential here. Next turtle of the game is now up, though. Kairi starting it up, but the rest of Falcon making their way here. Who's going to pull the trigger?
I don't know. Kairi has made a good statement on top of this turtle. Doesn't look like Falcon's going to try to go for this. Keep an eye on Ken. No, the turtle does go to the side of Onic. This could be bad. Yellow Flash gets pulled in from that Divine Retribution, but still, nothing, no kills on the board just yet.
No kills on the board just yet, as Onic Esports, they're going to be able to get the better trade on those objectives. Maybe because Onic, they lose a lot on the Fanny, so they're starting to pick up on how exactly were they countered, and they're relaying that same message onto Falcon here as Ken level 5, Kairi also level 5, but obviously he is a little bit ahead because Ken's jungle has been taken away from him, basically.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing, too, is when you have a Fanny across from you, Kairi and Onic Esports knows this, right? Don't get caught alone, especially with a high and dry.
Oh, that is big. Kiboy goes down. A nice pick for Falcon. First blood on the map. Kairi maybe wants to find something for himself. Ken trying to get out of town here. He is going to be able to get away, but wait, Kairi may find Naomi here. The decimation comes in, and now it's a 1-for-1 trade.
Wow, Kairi just being so aggressive. He didn't have to take that. It might have been a mistake.
This bad Samon's Force does go down. Ken taken off the map. Kairi finds another one. Zipbax, though, does pick up CW. Can they find Kairi here? Don't want to mess with it. They know the CC's there. They know Kairi can be a problem. But wait a second. Petrify. Justin goes down. Onic, 3-2.
I mean, just a massive, about 1 minute there coming out from Onic Esports. And hey, even if he doesn't get an assassin, Kairi's still going to play that way on this Martis and just be a nuisance. I mean, that's the downside, right? Falcon Esports still need to find an answer for this objectively as well, because he's running that jungle emblem here. As we take a look at the emblems, he has that advantage at least of clearing things a little bit faster. And so Ken's really got to utilize the high and dry, the Fanny pick as well, and just give the fight to Onic Esports. But given what just happened, that's tough to do, Eterna.
It's tough to do. He has a high and dry like you mentioned, but the fact is he hasn't been able to get that blue buff quick enough, right? When he has that blue buff, he's going to be able to rotate better, perhaps even pressure CW in that gold lane, but we haven't seen that being realized. But now both teams are going to start fighting for the next neutral objective.
Yeah, Ken trying to lock on to Kairi here. Can he find him? Kairi does get the turtle. Ken forced to run away. Kairi wants more. Yellow Flash trying to zone for him. Kairi doesn't go too aggressive. He's smart. Get the turtle, get the gold crab. I don't need to chase Ken down today because right now we are winning this game.
Well, that's the thing, right? Again, you don't have to do too much here if you're Kairi for Onic Esports. You go in, grab the objectives, get out. If Kiboy finds a Divine Judgment lockdown, great. It could even be Sanz, right? So still, you have a lot of tools here for Onic Esports, and that's why Falcon Esports has to work around that. But already, even just the pressure in the jungle.
This is so bad for Ken right now. I mean, Onic, they're playing it textbook right now. They're doing it exactly how they're supposed to, and the Martis pick was just so clutch, and it's working so well against Falcon. And right now, the gold has already extended to almost 2K at only 5.5 minutes.
Oh, they're suffocating Falcon. I mean, right now, Kairi level 9 against Ken, who's still level 7. So he's 2 levels below. It must be so frustrating, but Kiboy looks for a pick, but he's still able to get out here.
Most definitely, but wait a second. Sanz tries to lock in, but a rough way, stops the ulti. Zipex looking for Sanz, is very low. Can he find it? Sanz gets away. And now with Kiboy and CW here, he's not going to be able to claim anything there. Justin coming in from the top side, but he's walking into a death trap. Needs to be careful. Yin Yang overturn does lock down, but still not enough damage. Falcon just too far behind in gold right now.
Tough, again, situation. You can see Onic Esports just putting pressure here on the bottom side, making it harder for Zipex. He does have a kill, right? He's got the mystery shop too, but they're still going to be going.
Ooh, Zamon's force does come down. Kiboy just walking through the tower, not worried about it. But Onic, they're never forcing it. They look for the play. They're looking for the mess up from Falcon to capitalize on it.
I mean, Kairi's level 10 still.
He's
right?
level
He's got
10.
the lead here at Turna.
Yeah, it's tough, right? It's super tough right now because if we look at the mid lane matchup, like the problem is Kagura is strong, very burst and high, very burst damage. But the problem is the Kagura needs proper setup for that Yin Yang overturn to be maximized. And so far, Naomi hasn't been able to land that. But perhaps this might be the moment as they're setting up for the objective.
Oh, suppression does come on to Ken. Ken goes down. CW picking up that kill. Naomi now forced to run away. Falcon cannot contest this turtle. Yellow Flash going to keep vision for his team, but down in the bot lane, is a bit more action. Sanz finds Naomi. Yellow Flash trying to respond back to Sanz, but Kiboy is also here. Kairi will be on his turtle, and that is another huge advantage for the side of Onic Esports.
2-0 trade. 2-0 trade. They're at 4,000 gold right now. And if we take a look at the items, you can see the disparity, the distinct disparity that we see. Like, even from the gold lane, right? The carry is 1,000 level up. She has her core items. She has the corrosion scythe. She has also the golden staff. And so the damage, the attack speed, the slow, it's already starting to hit. Whereas the Herod, he's only been able to get that Calamity Reaper and the Feather of Heaven, which he needs more magic damage, basically. He needs that base magic damage for the damage to finally hit. And if we take a look at the mages here, both teams have yet to secure that second item. So at this point, Kagura still has a chance here going against Onic Esports.
Yeah, I mean, even in this battle, like, look at the confidence taking the purple buff. They're going to crash down here, might even look for a pick, but...
Oh, big flicker! Nice play from the side of Falcon, but still not enough. CW finds Naomi. Boots trying to come in, help out. Zipex needs to run away. Yellow Flash as well. Justin tries to get that umbrella on, but just unable to find anything. Every time Falcon tries to make a play, Onic responds back.
Okay, now I don't know what they should do, right? Because that was textbook what they were supposed to do, right? They were supposed to look for a big moment. Naomi gets the Fatal Links on 3 to 4 members.
Yeah.
They did that, but he instantly died, and they weren't able to get CW taken. So what?
I mean, that's the thing, right? When you have this Atlas, you can have all those moments in the world, all those Fatal Links, whether it's 3, 4, 5 combos. But if you don't have the follow-up, you don't have the damage, and that is what Justin picked this Kagura for, right? It should be there, so you can get that Yin Yang overturn off, but unfortunately for them, it's not here yet. 9 minutes in, the gold lead continuing to build here for Onic Esports, and it's just getting tougher for them in this situation because at the same time, they front-loaded a lot of this magic damage, right? They have a lot of magic damage in the department here. So if Onic Esports, the way that they do their build paths, they get a little magic resistance, maybe an Athena shield, they already kind of negate a lot of that burst, right? So still, even in fights like this first Lord of the Game, Onic Esports is going to have an advantage here. But you can see already Falcon trying to get an eye. They also have to allow Ken to get the buff here so that he doesn't get blasted as the first Lord goes off.
Yeah, they are going to start on that. CW going to start chipping away at it as the rest of the team zones away Falcon. Falcon looking for an entrance. Ken standing a little bit through these bushes. Almost getting sent up. Suppression will go down. CW with the killing spree. Lord goes to Kairi. And now Falcon members are dropping.
Wow.
It's 3 down and a Lord for the side of Onic.
Wow, a 3-4-0 trade. And even if Ken wanted to go in and try to steal it, he didn't have his retribution up. So Onic Esports right now, they've been really great at forcing timings in order for Falcon not to be able to get any advantage or even a trade. 8,000 gold lead, Kairi already with a Hunter Strike as well, so additional movement speed to already how oppressive he is. And Ken, the only thing he can do up until this point, but oh my god!
Takes a lot of damage there, almost responds, but isn't quite able to. Kiboy comes in with a flicker, Ken goes down.
No!
Onic just, I mean, decimating them right now, definitely picking them apart piece by piece. And you mentioned earlier, Falcon needs a big play, but I think it's a little too late. The gold difference is just too much, and even when they make the play, the damage isn't there because Falcon has more items, has more gold, and has advantage in these team fights.
I mean, Kiboy just coming in, he's like, I want one. So he gets the kill. Now the assault on the base here on the top side. It's Onic Esports pressing this into the base.
Boots will come in, but still nothing too major. Falcon is able to stop them from taking an inhibitor, but they've lost everything else on the field. This is a bad predicament. It is a 10K gold lead for Onic right now at Turna.
Yeah, any hope for that moment has kind of shifted, right? Probably abandon that and utilize what the Fanny is used for, right? If the Fanny can't get that early game lead, if she can't snowball, okay, fine. Let's go to plan B. What is plan B for Fanny? Try and get those pressure in the side lanes, right? Try to split push, try to cause Onic disarray, because right now they're already clumping in as 5, and the way that Falcon can actually go about this is try and go for those side lanes. I think that's the only thing that they can do up until this point.
I mean, even if you do that, right, still, we even just a little bit ago, we saw CW pick up an Athena shield. So if you take Fanny and you park Fanny in the side lane to push, that does apply pressure. But if they're looking for these skirmishes, these team fights, and there's none of that physical damage, it's all magic damage, it's going to fall off. You're not going to win those trades here. And we see even Falcon Esports being poked out of their own jungle. I mean, at this point, 10K gold lead for Onic Esports, sitting comfortably, taking all the buffs here from Ken. And this it's a very hard situation to be in. Even if you don't, we've seen this similarly with a Hilda, right? How much Hilda just makes it a hard time for the opposing jungler. Same situation here for this Fanny. No buffs, you have to scrape any XP, any gold you can, and then hope to be there for those fights when, I mean, Naomi has been trying to find the Fatal Link setups. He's done it, but there's no follow-up damage.
You know, Onic just has such great placement all over the map, especially as we creep into this mid to late S game. Look at Sanz sitting down here in this bottom brush, just waiting for the ambush, and everyone else moving as a unit, but everyone knows their position. They have their spots depending on what they want to do next. Now with Lord coming up, the rest of the team is moving forward as Sanz slowly catches up, but Kairi gonna try to look for him down there, takes him very low. Sanz forced to use rough waves, just get away. This could be the slight advantage Falcon is looking for, but they cannot go for this Lord. It's just too much pressure from Onic.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, right? 11,000, almost 12,000 gold behind now. I think the fact that Ken was trying to pick him off he was looking for a trade, but it couldn't happen as well. Fanny trying to pressure that bottom lane, trying to get a turret out of it. But the way that, like you mentioned, the way that they're able to spread across the map and deny all that from Falcon makes it just that much more difficult for them. And you can see Kairi he keeps building that defense. Nobody in particular can take him down because Falcon committed to having the Harith in that gold lane. They're not going to have that DPS like Onic has with the carry. They're going to have more burst, but even that can't come through because of the range disparity that they also have with Onic Esports.
This is a tough situation for Ken to be in, right? Kairi's right here. He's looking for any movement that he can get on the map, but even like what we saw, right? He's just probably at this point trying to get those last couple items that he needs. He's also got to catch up here on XP, but meanwhile, top side, Lord's going to be marching up here. So does he go back for the defense? Because this one's going to be tough for Falcon Esports to defend against.
He's going to be forced to. Lord will take the first inhibitor. Onic closing in, looking for a possible finish here. Sanz being patient along with Boots. CW and Kairi will move to the mid side. The Lord does fall, but now Onic moving on to the middle inhibitor. They're going to pick these bones dry before they finish this. Onic now circling around, waiting for a possible mistake from Falcon. Sanz, Kiboy holding the front line. Boots maybe waiting for the engage. Kairi also helps clear the wave. Falcon forced to keep them at bay, but Onic not being too aggressive, playing disciplined, playing smart. They got what they came for, and they can wait for the next Lord because the gold lead is so much.
They're really stretching this out, right? I mean, they could have taken a gamble, they could have committed onto it, but they didn't want to. And if we take a look at the items here in the 15th minute, it's starting to go into that late game, like Trex mentioned, and we're starting to see a lot of items being built already on the board. right now there's already so much magic penetration. The magic damage is there for Harith in particular with the Holy Crystal and the Divine Glaive. All he needs to secure is his last item. And I honestly believe at this point, maybe look for something that's more... But wait a minute, in the mid side here, Boots.
Oh, just too tanky though. Ken can't do the damage. The game is too far in. The Fanny is almost obsolete at this point, and it's becoming a major problem.
Yeah, back to my point here, because the problem is, we can't.
They don't want to let you talk.
They're going in.
Kiboy with the concealed play, tries to lock on a yellow flash, but still, Falcon also playing disciplined here, not overextending. They know they just need to clear these waves, and they can try, maybe try to hold out here.
Okay, Onic, can I talk now?
Now you can.
Are you done? Okay, seems like they're done. Okay, but maybe not, but I have a few moments. But what I meant to say is that because Falcon is highly depending on the damage output coming in from Zipex, even though he has those items that is going to give him more magic damage, the problem is if we took a look at Onic Esports' item builds, they had so many Athena shields, and that's going to be a huge problem. This is the problem of having Harith as your gold laner without that physical item, the physical damage that you so need at this point.
Yeah, normal, I mean, it's always it's kind of a high risk, high reward situation, right? When you draft a mage into the gold lane, it does work for some teams, but still, when you're jungle, the main physical damage is shut down.
Speaking of shut down, Yellow Flash will be the one to get shut down, but a nice Fatal Lynx locks on. They want to make the play. Naomi finds Sanz Kiboy, will go down, but the immortality pops. Zipex trying to pick it up with the dash. Kairi still gets the Lord. Ken gonna look for Kiboy here, but Boots has locked on, and Ken goes down. They're slip and sliding. That's it. A nice pickup. Falcon loses out on that trade. It's a 2-for-2, but the Lord still goes to the side of Onic.
Oh man, that was messy, Naisu.
Boots took him for a ride. I mean, that was a journey and a half, right? I mean, what a play there. And now, still, Onic Esports in good position. They're going to be marching down the mid lane. Kiboy has just now reached 1,500 assists for his professional MLBB career. So congratulations to him. He is doing work right now in this Kaja, as we saw him do in the previous game as well. So now, this very well could be a last push-in. Couple seconds, Ken should be up, but Onic Esports going in.
It's going to be a second until CW can get to this fight, though. Some of the damage is still in the backside, but Kairi and Boots want to try to push this in. Kairi taking a lot of damage. Ken does get a nice poke. Yellow Flash trying to hold down the backside, but Kiboy finds the retribution and pulls in Justin. This could be big. Wait a second. Boots does find Yellow Flash. That's 3 down for Falcon. They keep on going. Zipex will be next. Ken goes down, and the base will fall. Onic Esports takes game 2.
Onic Esports takes game number 2, and they're going to be leading the series. One more point until they're going to be able to move on in the upper brackets. And now Falcon Esports are put in a very tough position.
Like you guys said, at match point here for the first match of knockouts. Onic Esports not kidding around. They've got the crowd as well. And that crowd buff is obviously showing across the board. I mean, any player, any position you looked at for Onic Esports, they got their cake, right? They wanted it. Even Kiboy hitting that milestone for his professional career here and just having an amazing game himself. I mean, if you're Falcon Esports, you might be thinking too, hey, maybe we don't give